hour in today's Community Focus, Governor Dan McKee is requesting a face-to-face meeting with President Trump. He joins me now live in studio to talk about that and more. Governor, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for the invite, Kim.
So you shared a letter that you wrote today to the Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, about the administration's stop work order on Revolution Wind. And you mentioned that you spoke with him over the phone last week. First, can you tell us a little bit about that conversation?
So Secretary Burgum's former governor, so I've had conversations with him before this, but I certainly have let him know that this is costing us jobs. It's costing us, people are going to get hurt in the pocketbooks because the energy that they're shutting down is 10 cents a kilowatt, which is better than what we had coming up this winter. And he's open to information, so we've provided him with a full timeline. I don't think there's a full understanding that the project is 80% complete. The transmission lines are 90% complete. So we've sent him a timeline along with photos. So, you know, photos say they say 1,000 words or whatever it is. A photo says 1,000 words. I think our photos we sent him say about 10,000 words. And
you also mentioned at the end of the letter that you'd like to have a face-to-face meeting with President Trump. Has there been any response to that request or the letter otherwise? No,
we've responded. In conversations with Ned Lamont and other governors, we made the request to meet with the president. We made that request to the White House Chief of Staff. And also reiterated that in my conversation with Secretary Burgum on Friday, but no response so far.
And we did also reach out to the White House about that letter. They sent us a statement but did not respond to your request for that face-to-face meeting. We know the administration is also pulling more than $11 million from the port of Davisville. Are you worried that more dominoes are going to fall?
Yes, I mean, I met with Steve King today from Quonset talking about that $11 million. That's going to impact, again, more jobs, more infrastructure improvements, progress that we're making right now, at Quonset relative to new businesses that are showing up there. Andrew, we had the ribbon cutting the other day. That's a major defense industry, investment that's being made there, and so we're very concerned about what the impact this could have on our business community, and again, back on the wind, it's going to hurt people in the pocketbooks, which we're trying to contain a lower cost for our ratepayers. This is going to do exactly the opposite.
Switching gears, there is a lot going on in the vaccine space. Today, the Boston Globe is reporting that Governor Maura Healey has signed an executive order essentially guaranteeing that everyone over the age of 5 in Massachusetts who wants a COVID shot can get one despite federal guidance. The Globe is also reporting that health officials from multiple states met last week in Providence to talk about coordinating efforts. Where does Rhode Island stand? Will you be taking similar actions like Governor Healey?
Well, our Department of Health has already clarified that anybody over, I think it's 5 or 6 months old, we're recommending that vaccines be used, especially on the COVID. So we're going to continue that policy, Kim. I don't see any reason to, reverse that at all. We're happy with the fact that we want to keep people safe, just like I did when I came into office, right? Sure. Took us from one of the worst vaccinated states in the country to one of the very best.
So you think current policy in Rhode Island is already strong enough to guarantee if people want a COVID shot, they can get one despite what the federal government is saying?
Yes, at this point in time, I do believe that's true, and we're going to follow the lead of the doctors and the professionals in that area. And our Rhode Island Department of Health leads the way.
Any sense of how the states will be coordinating anything else that came out of that meeting last week?
Well, I think we're going to continue to work together, just like we are on the wind, or on labor. We've made a statement with multiple governors. We're certainly in direct contact with all the governors in the region, and we'll continue to reinforce the fact. Look, we want to be healthy. I mean, that's that's like the third tenet of our 2030 plan, right? Raise academic outcomes, raising incomes, and making sure we're healthy. So vaccinations do that, and we're going to continue to follow the lead of the professionals and the doctors that are at Department of Health and also right in the state.
You faced some criticism lately for the way in which you've brought back Stephen Pryor as the Commerce Secretary, again, having him start immediately without Senate confirmation. The Senate's attorneys and Common Cause Rhode Island say you don't have the authority to do so. You disagree. You say you do. But Common Cause says that's gaslighting the public. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, so I really can't respond to Common Cause. Look, we know that we're on solid ground. We follow the attorneys in our office. This is past practice. I did the same thing with Secretary Goddard, announced it in November and wasn't confirmed until March. So it's the same thing. We know that we're on solid ground, and we are certainly working with the Senate to make sure that the confirmation is done in a timely way. If they come back early, we've already put Stefan's name in. If they come back in January, which I think they will, more likely be in January, we've got the name in and we'll go through a confirmation process. And we've talked to the Senate President. I have talked to the leadership, with Leader Saccone as well as David Takoyan, Senator Takoyan. So we're all on the same page. We're going to make this work, and we don't want to impede the progress that we're making at Commerce with these businesses like Breeze Air and Andril and Organogenesis, and the list is very long, and we're looking forward to continue that progress with Stefan as the secretary.
We're basically out of time, but I've been getting some questions about Hasbro. Any further conversations with them lately about where their headquarters is going to be?
We have no update on that at all, so we're as much in the dark as you are, Kim.
All right.
But we'll keep on pursuing that opportunity as we are with all opportunities to bring jobs to the state of Oregon.
All right, we will wait and see. Governor Dan McKee, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Kim.